The Rival 310 is one of two new offerings from SteelSeries, the other being the ambidextrous Sensei 310. The Rival 310 is a right-handed mouse and features an ergonomic shape. Unlike other ergonomic mice, the Rival has a thin base, which then flares out into a wide back. The wide back is great for resting your palm if you use claw or palm grip, especially as the hump of the mouse is towards the back. And the thin base provides plenty of wiggle room for claw and fingertip grip. It's fair to say that this mouse is great for any grip style. The sides flare outwards towards the top, which provides some extra assistance for the thumb, ring and pinky fingers when picking up the mouse. The rubber side grips feel great and provide some extra friction to improve your grip. The rest of the shell is a matte plastic, which is of a high quality. The build quality also feels solid and very well made, which is good to see on a mouse that weighs just 90 grams without the cable. The cable is rubber and is 2 meters long. It isn't too flimsy or too stiff, and it doesn't have too much friction when dragging it across the mouse pad. Though I would always recommend the mouse bungee to keep the cable elevated where possible. The mouse feet glide smoothly and they don't scratch the mouse pad or make too much noise. My main critique for the mouse overview is that I would like to see some comfort grooves on the left and right click, and for those with really small hands, you might be limited to palm grip. To figure out if this mouse will fit you, measure the size of your current mouse and compare it to the dimensions on screen. And if it helps, my hands are roughly 20 by 10.5 centimeters and I can use any grip style with this mouse. This mouse uses Omron mechanical switches, which have a huge 50 million click lifespan. Here is a sound test of the buttons. Feel free to skip ahead if you just want to see the rest of the review. The left and right click are responsive and provide crisp feedback. For me, these feel just about right, though I can feel a slight variation between the two. The size and position of the side buttons are great, but they are quite tough to click in. Feedback is very crisp and there is little travel distance. The DPI button provides crisp feedback, and the scroll wheel click provides tactile feedback, and the scrolling has distinctive steps but is very easy to rotate, which can cause you to over-scroll. In the SteelSeries engine software, you can set up custom configurations and reprogram the buttons with shortcuts, keystrokes and macros. You can also set 2 DPI settings, anywhere from 100 to 12,000 in increments of 100. There are also additional settings for acceleration, angle snapping and the polling rate, as well as the ability to adjust the RGB lighting. You can adjust the lighting on the SteelSeries logo and the scroll wheel individually, and there are multiple options to choose from, including color shift, breathing and a static option. And you can also adjust the speed of each effect. This mouse uses the TrueMove3 optical sensor, which is a modified version of the famous 3360. The specs for this sensor are in the top right corner. So the TrueMove3 has raw 1:1 tracking up to 3500 dpi, whereas a regular 3360 only has raw 1:1 tracking up to 2100 dpi, at which point jitter reduction kicks in, which adds some additional processing and latency. For anyone who uses less than 2100 dpi, this won't be a big deal, but for those that use between 2100 and 3500 dpi, some improvements have been made. I can't get this sensor to spin out, and it holds up in acceleration tests, as expected with such a high-end sensor. There is also no sensor rattle, so that isn't a problem, and the lift-off distance is lower than 1 DVD. All of my testing was done at 400 dpi and on a dark mousepad for best results. All in all, this is an excellent sensor, and it is a joy to play with. The SteelSeries Rival 310 is almost perfect across the board. There are just 3 minor issues that I have with this mouse. The scroll wheel could be tighter, there could be comfort grooves for the buttons, and the side buttons could be lighter to press in. But apart from that, the sensor, the build quality, the feel, and the shape of the mouse are excellent. This is definitely a top performer. Perhaps the main variable which will determine whether this mouse is suitable for you is the shape, and if the shape isn't good enough, perhaps the Sensei 310 could capture your attention. If you plan on buying this mouse, I have put Amazon links in the description below, which will also help support me, so thank you in advance if you use those. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and share it with those who may be interested. This has been JoshTechBytes, thank you for watching.